Hey everybody, it's Scott with Harper Health AZ. Today I'm going to show you how to make some Chile Rellenos. This one, it is going to be a little bit more complicated. We're going to make a sauce and a cheese. We will do on and under our Chile Rellenos, and they will be stuffed with the cheese. So let's jump into this one. Now the main thing we're going to need is going to be 6 Hatch Green Chiles. You can use whatever type of peppers you want, Poblano Peppers. There's a lot of different variety. You just want to make sure you get really big ones so they're easy to stuff the cheese in. And then we will need 6 tomatoes. And then the jalapeños, you can do those to your taste. You can leave them out if you don't want it to have that extra spiciness. You can throw more in there to really bump up the heat. I am gonna do 2 jalapeños in this one. Now I'm going to be using 4 pretty large garlic cloves. If you need smaller garlic cloves, just add to like 6 or 8 because you want a good amount of the garlic for that extra flavoring in there. The next thing we want to do is set our oven to 450 degrees Fahrenheit. And then we will want to grab a pan and throw some foil on top of it. Now, as far as keeping these from stick, you can do a little bit of water on here. I'm really trying not to use any oil nowadays. And then after you do that one, you'll just want to add some garlic salt. This one is going to help the stuff we are going to be baking to get that flavor into it. So I am just going to lay out all of our peppers here. And then we will need a second pan, which will have all of this on there. And then again, put some garlic salt down on there. And then throw our jalapeños on there. I like to cook them whole, and our garlic. And next we will want to do our tomatoes. And then I just cut off the end here. And we will slice in half and throw those guys on. And now that we got those all laid out here, we will want to put some garlic salt over the top of them. And now for our tray of stuff, we're going to throw that in the oven for 15 minutes to let it bake. All right, the next thing we're going to do is make our tofu cheese. We'll go ahead and do firm or extra firm tofu for this. And now you can use a food processor or a blender to mix this up. We will be adding a 1/3 cup of nutritional yeast to it, and then 1 tablespoon chili powder, 1 teaspoon garlic salt. And now we'll go ahead and blend this guy up. All right, we got our cheese all made up, so we are just gonna put this to the side. All right, now that that 15 minutes is up, we are gonna grab our 2 pans out of the oven. All right, we grabbed our guys out of the oven. We will wanna keep the oven at 450 because the one thing we are gonna do is just flip over our peppers to get them to cook the other side. Now let's go ahead and throw these guys in for another 15 minutes. And next we are gonna do our sauce. So let's go ahead and we are gonna throw all of these in there. Then we wanna make sure to cut the stems off of the jalapeños. And now let's just mix this guy up. And now you can check to make sure everything did get blended up nicely there. And it should, as long as you have a good blender. If you're not sure about that, just cut up the jalapeno and the garlic a little bit more. But yeah, it looks very good in there. And also, if you want to add onions, I would say half an onion, cut it up into bigger chunks. You can bake it just the same and then add it into here also. And then I'm gonna be putting all of this into a pan to bake it for longer. This pan is about 10 inches by 13 inches. It really is gonna depend on what size pan you need as far as the peppers. You can always test this out first, see how the peppers range in there. And the first thing we are gonna wanna do is put some of our sauce that we made on the bottom. And you wanna do about half of it in here. And then set the rest of the sauce off to the side. And while our peppers are finished getting cooked, we have this laid out, got a cutting board that we will then use to slice open our peppers to be able to stuff them with our cheese. All right, now that our peppers are done, bring them over to our cutting board. And now we want to set our oven to 425. And now first thing you want to do is give these about 5 minutes to cool down. And now we will just go ahead and start cutting these open one at a time. And as you can see, we have seeds in there. And now what we will want to do is wash these out to get the seeds all out of there. And then I like to take off the stems. You don't have to. I just think this is a lot easier. So when you're serving, nobody has to worry about the stem. And now we got one all washed out. And sometimes you'll notice with the pepper, the skin will fall off. You can either just let that go. It doesn't really matter. I would not worry about peeling that one off because it tastes fine with it on there. And next thing we do is just load this guy up with the cheese. And then you just want to throw that guy into your pan. And then we will continue to do that with the rest of these. Alright, and now that we got our peppers all stuffed with the cheese and on top of our sauce, we are going to pour the rest of the sauce over the top. Now that we got all laid up, we are going to want to put some foil over the top and bake it for 20 to 25 minutes. Alright, so we got that guy cooking in the oven now. Once we are done cooking for the 20 to 25 minutes, we will want to take the foil off and bake it for 5 more minutes. So that's what we'll do next. All right, and our Chile Rellenos are all done there. So these guys look great. You want to give it about 5 to 10 minutes for these to cool down since they've been freshly out of the oven before you eat them. And I hope you all enjoyed this video today. Give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you all next time. All right, so some tips on this one. If you want the thing super spicy, use Hatch Green Chiles. Makes it so spicy, you'll be sweating like crazy. For a normal one, I would definitely suggest Poblano Peppers. Skip the jalapeños. It makes it a lot more milder and easier. But if you're going for that heat challenge, the Hatch Green Chiles is where it's at. Also, if you guys find that you have made it too hot, like I did, you can probably see the sweat dripping off of me here. You can blend it up and make it into a great queso to save for later. I added about half a cup of nutritional yeast to it. Of course, depending on how hot it is, you can change that up to however much you need. But now it tastes great. It's a lot calmer and milder because the chilies I used were super hot. So I hope you guys enjoy this little also added trick to make a nice queso. And now what we will want to do